Now, I just made an episode about dank memes and how I think that dank memes should rise from the ashes of, you know, pop culture. I don't know what you would call it. Meme culture, whatever you would call it. But it got me thinking because I talked about how dank memes were kind of a part of my, I wouldn't say childhood, but like formative years. Very, very formative years, like late elementary to middle school and then, onwards. But another part, and this wasn't really like a major part, but it was just a little facet of my life, was like SCP. And I just thought of this just now because I haven't thought about SCP in years. But SCP was just so fascinating to me, as like the fact that, people could come up with these like crazy stories, these crazy entities. You had games, you had like that little like fan movie for 096. It was fantastic. Fantastic time to be alive. But it got me thinking because to this day, one of the most funny things that I can even think about is like the Femur Breaker. The Femur Breaker is one of those things where it, in concept, is horrifying. It's terrifying. It's something that you just can't even imagine. It's just horrible. But and I'm sure you guys know the sound I'm talking about. But the sound, like the sound bite of it, I can perfect it word for, not word for word, but like the tone of the voice, the pitch of the scream, and it's when it's overlaid on like memes or like other kind of things, it is so incredibly funny to me. And it's one of those things where it's like it's supposed to be like this dark, scary, horrifying concept, but it has been so oversaturated with like memes and just jokes. It is so funny to me. The like, hello, is anybody there? And then you hear like the hydraulic press sound, and then it sounds like Tom when he stubs his foot from Tom and Jerry. It's so, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I wish we had more things like that. When I think of video games now, I think of like Fortnite and Roblox and like all this other shit. We don't have any like when was the last SCP game that came out? You know? I know that like Containment Breach is always like one of those projects that they're just working on, but I don't know if they've already like released a final, like I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. But the Femur Breaker was like the funniest thing to me when I was a kid. Like I remember being in class with one of my friends, and he would just tap me on the shoulder, and he'd like point over to me, and he'd point to his homework, and he had like a shittily drawn picture of a stick figure in the Femur Breaker, and it just makes me fucking crack up. It's like the shittiest drawing ever. It's literally just a stick figure laying flat down with like with a hydraulic press over him. Nobody, and I mean nobody outside of the two of us, would even know what the hell that meant. But to us, it was like the funniest thing ever. And these things don't last forever, you know? Like SCP is one of those things where it was like this huge thing, what, a decade ago? Huge. The games were coming out, fans were creating their own. You had like the info sheets that the game made. You know, there were people who could recite all of them, or not all of them, because there's like infinite, but like the top 100 people could recite. At one point I could probably name like a dozen, but now I've definitely lost that ability to do so. You know, I know like the names. You have like Shy Guy 096, Peanut 173, Larry, which is like the black sludge one. I don't remember what number he is. You have like the Plague Doctor. You know, SCP was big, and the Femur Crusher was like the like the light. You know, when you think of like SCP, it's like this dark, foreboding sense of dread. And the femur crusher is terrifying, but whoever recorded that sound bite, they need an Oscar, they need a Grammy, they need every single award given to actors and artists. That performance, without a doubt, was the most incredible. I mean, it sounds real. Obviously, like the crushing sounds and the hydraulic press sounds are like very obviously like stock, but the man screaming, get this man an Emmy or a Tony or whatever the fuck these awards are. Give them all, give all of them to him. Such a fantastic performance. Huge shout out to that guy. But that's where I'm going to end it. That man was a huge part of my childhood. I'm not going to say huge part. It's not like I was just like, obsessed with the Femur Breaker. That's kind of weird. But it was just like, just something, a funny concept, a funny topic. So I appreciate you listening to this, and I will see you tomorrow.